Ash Wednesday is the beginning of Lent. It's like a threshold we cross. And Lent, when we get into it, is a time of great challenge. Lent challenges you to try and find sources of renewal of your life, of your faith, of your relationships. And what I'd like to do very quickly is just put before you the traditional way of understanding Lent and of making good use of it. The traditional understanding of Lent is like a tripod, 3 legs, 3 feet. And the 3 things that we're asked to grasp and take as a challenge are these. 1, that we pray. 2, that we fast. And 3, that we give alms. Now let's take each one at a time. First leg is prayer. Of course we pray. Of course we try to pray. Some days we make a good job of it, some days we don't. But Lent is the invitation to put some time aside each day and turn to the Lord and put everything else out of your mind as best you can. Prayer is the raising of the mind and heart to God, or maybe trying to raise the mind and heart to God. So here's the first challenge. During these weeks of Lent, from now till Easter, fix a time and each day stick to it and give some time to prayer. Then the second leg of the tripod. This traditionally is called fasting, and that means giving up something that we eat or drink. Self-denial is another phrase. And self-denial is so important because it reminds us that we're not the centre of the world. Sometimes we feel we should be and nobody takes enough notice. But when it gets down to it, we are not the centre of the world. The only centre of the world which is worth looking to is the mystery of God. And we're invited into that mystery when we forget a little bit about ourselves by giving something up, by saying no to me and opening our hearts to that mystery of life. And the third leg of the tripod is called almsgiving. Now that means practical generosity. It mightn't be money. It might be a renewed effort to look more sensitively at the people around you and respond to them a bit more generously. It might be deliberate action, joining in an activity to support those who are in need. Prayer, fasting, almsgiving. This is the traditional framework for Lent. Now here's the last thought. Imagine you're standing on the shore of the sea and you can see the waves coming in. They're coming in steadily. Some of them have travelled a long, long way, those waves, with the pull of the moon on the water, we understand that. But those waves are like an image of our faith. The faith comes to us across the centuries like a wave. And eventually it comes to our feet. It comes into our little realm. And that's one way of thinking about the traditions in the church and this tradition of Lent. It comes to us across the centuries. It comes to us with that impetus that never stops. It keeps coming. And this year, I ask you to accept its challenge. Make this Lent a good Lent for you by prayer, fasting, almsgiving. Then you'll find that your life actually expands and your heart expands and you're more ready to meet all its challenges. And may God bless you all this Lent.